Well, hello and welcome to St Calixtus Parish Church, Astley Abbotts, here in Shropshire. I'm Hugh Walker, and I'm going to demonstrate the rather brilliant organ to you. This instrument was originally built in about 1890 by Lloyd and Co. of Nottingham. It wasn't originally in this building, but used to be in the Catholic Apostolic Church in Bridgnorth, which is just down the road. It was moved here, I wouldn't like to quote a date, sometime in the 20th century, but I don't know when. And it served here for many years, and then it was finally restored in 2020 by Cartwright and Cartwright, very, very good organ builders. It's in brilliant condition today. And we've got a really good specification. Now, a few alterations were made at the rebuild, and I think I'll look at those as we go through, rather than mention those now. But we've got 2 manuals and pedals. I'm just counting stops as I speak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops on the swell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stops on the grate. 2 pedal stops with 1 maybe prepared for, and then 3 couplers. It's mechanical action throughout, tracker action. Now, one thing that is interesting is that the console is technically on the side of the instrument, so all the pipework is laid out that way. So the action has to make a 90-degree turn and turn everything around a little bit, which is quite interesting. But you've got a really nice touch. Anyway. So, without further ado, let's make our way through what stops we have here on the instrument. So, as usual, we'll start on the grate, and we'll start with the open diapason. Now, one thing about this organ is that, yes, the overall sound, as you'll hear, is very loud. Got the really, really good choruses. However, the individual stops are mostly quite quiet. So this open diapason is not humongous, certainly not here at the console, where everything sort of goes in that direction rather than past you. But here's the 8-foot open diapason on the grate. Now I know a little bit of that's in the facade, and then I think the rest of the bass, the bottom few notes, are mounted on the far side of the swell box. It's worth mentioning that the grate is here, going long ways, speaking straight out the case. Impost level is probably sort of somewhere here. If you can see where I'm marking, sort of music desk or a little bit higher, somewhere there. And then the swell is then raised right up, facing in the same direction, but raised right up over there. So that's the open diapason. So let's build up the chorus. So we've got 4-foot principal. Here we go. Really nice sound. We've got 12. Let's have that next. So 12, 2 2/3 of a foot. This was one of the new stops. This replaced an 8-foot Dulciana, Tennessee Dulciana. So this was installed in 2020 by Cartwright and Cartwright, and a good addition. So without, and then with. I'm now going to swap that for the 15th. So here's the 15th. and I'll bring the 12 back on as well. And there's one stop left for that, for this diapason chorus on the grate, this plenum, and that's a 2-rank mixture, and that was one of the other additions that Cartwright and Cartwright made. So here it is alone. What's a pronounced break there. So let's put that onto the chorus we had before. So 8, 4, 2 2/3, 2, and then the 2-rank mixture. And then with a little bit of pedal underneath that, that could sound like this. So that's the plenum of the organ. That's a pretty good sound, really. You've got a lot of brightness there. Really good chorus. I really like that. So we've also got some flutes. We've got a really nice 8-foot lieblich gedackt. That sounds like this. So a really nice sound. And then we have a 4-foot flute, a 4-foot harmonic flute. I must admit that's one of the nicest harmonic flutes I've heard. That is a really nice sound. It's not too shrill and piercing. It's really beautiful. I believe it's Tennessee. Yeah, it's Tennessee, but it's I presume harmonic. It sounds like it's harmonic all the way down to that Tennessee. So everything you've got is harmonic. That's a really, really nice stop. Beautiful solo, beautiful. Also with the lieblich gedackt. So here it is with the lieblich gedackt. Really nice. You could be a bit more live if you wanted. Really nice sound. And that leaves just one stop on the grate, the only string on the organ, an 8-foot corollaphon. This is a really nice stop. It's got slightly slow speech, but that kind of adds to the charm, and it is actually full compass. The bottom, or part of the bottom octave is, including the right down to bottom C, is in the facade around the corner. So we're very lucky to have a nice full length string. So that sounds like this. So really beautiful sound. I'm just going to compare those 3 8-foots. So here's the corolla one, which is really quite nice and quiet. Here's the Lieblich Gedakt. And here's the open diapason. So you could build them up quite nicely, like this. And they all add to each other and add to a beautiful, rich, warm sound. So that's all the stops on the grade. So now moving up onto the swell, we've got an 8-foot open diapason, which is rather nice. Now that seems really quite quiet, doesn't it? But I am playing with the box open. Here's the grate open. If I close the box. Really, really soft, but really nice. And we've got, the swell's quite unusual on this organ actually. We've got a chorus, a really quite a good chorus, but not much else. So we've got the 8-foot open diapason. We've then got a stop diapason, and then we've got a 4-foot principal, a 2/15th, and a trumpet, and nothing else. So it's lacking some things that you might want, like some strings or celeste, and maybe an oboe. But you've got a very useful set of stops. You just think and use them in a slightly different way. So here's that chorus building up. So we've got the 8-foot open diapason. Here's the 4-foot principal on top of that. So although we are looking at a diapason chorus, it has got quite a stringy sound and it is really quite soft. And then the 2/15th, we can get really quite a perky sound. So really nice sound. Here's the stop diapason. Really beautiful stop. And again, it's nice to compare things. So here's the Lieblich adapt on the grate. Here's the stop diapason on the swell. It's a really nice sound, and I think that with the box shut is probably the quietest sound on the organ. Yeah, that's the corollaphon. The open might even be slightly quieter, but anyway. Those are the quietest sounds. And then finally, first I'm just going to put the principal, hear the principal alone. I'm not sure what I want to say about that. There's something about it, but I'm not quite sure what it is. But that goes really nice with the stop diapason. It makes a really nice sound. Really nice sound. And that leaves just one more stop on the swell, and on the manuals in fact, and that is the 8-foot trumpet, which I mentioned. It's quite a good trumpet really, and again this was a 2020 edition, and a jolly good one too. So this is what it sounds like. So a really good sound. You can have a lot of fun with that. It's really useful as a solo stop, and of course adds to the full chorus. So I suppose we should quickly hear the full chorus of the swell. I'm going to draw everything, including the stop diapason, because that really does bulk things out. In fact, let's just hear how much it does. Here's the open. If I had the stopped. It makes a difference. So, 8, 8, 4, 2. Box open this is. Plus trumpet. I mean, the trumpet sort of does override the rest of that chorus, but crowns very well the chorus on the grate when coupled through. And of course, it's in a swell box, so you can, if you're playing on full grate and you bring on the trumpet with the box shut, it's really quite gentle, the graduation that you bring on. So finally, let's have a little look at the pedal stops. So we just have 2 pedal stops here. I mean, this is still a village church organ. We have progressed somewhat from our just single 16-foot solitary 16-foot bourdon, in that we have gained an 8-foot bass flute as well, but that is it. So here is the bass flute. I presume they're extended from each other because I know the bass flute is, again, a Cartwright and Cartwright edition. And then here's the bourdon. I'm going to work out where that bass flute came from in a second. So, where did that bass flute come from? From the bourdon, so it is from the bourdon. So that's all the pedal stops we have here. There are supposed plans that there might be a 16-foot reed added, a little 16-foot forgot or something. That just makes one squirm with delight. That would be very good. There's a little hole here ready, but we'll have to wait and see with that. So I suppose just for completeness, here's those 2 together. So there we go. That's the complete instrument. I mean, it's worth pointing out. Obviously, I'm sure you'll have noticed, but the stops are in a slightly interesting layout. All the stops are above the swell, or almost all the stops, in one long row, which is quite interesting. In case you hadn't noticed the layout, there you've got the grate here. There's a little inlaid wooden divider each side. So you've got the grate here, along like that. You've got the swell here, okay, and then here you've got 2 couplers, swell to pedal and swell to grate, and then down here you've got your grate to pedal, and down here you've got your 2 pedal stops, 16-foot bourdon, and your 8-foot bass flute. So that's quite an unusual layout, but it works well. And then we've got a nice new radiating concave pedal board, balanced swell pedal, which is very nicely balanced. And as I said, mechanical action throughout, I believe, including the pedal, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, a really, really nice organ in a really beautiful and historic church. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed having a little look round, and now I think I'll just take you through a few combinations. In fact, I'm going to talk you through a few, and then we'll have a little improvisation. So what could you do? A few gap registrations. I always seem to end up jumping to those. 8-foot Lieblich adapt with 2-foot 15th on the grate. You could have 8-foot and 2-foot, sorry, 8-foot and 12, sorry. So 8 and 2 2/3. And you can make a nice, that could be also be used as a solo effect, say against the swell stopped arpeggio with a bit of pedal, maybe just the bass flute and the coupler. You could add the 4-foot harmonic flute into that mix. I'm going to put the board on as well. And just to show the difference between with and without the harmonic flute. Gives it so much more body, really beautiful, and we could then put the 15th on as well if we wanted. So that's a combination. Let's hear how the solo trumpet could sit. Let's have 8, 4 and 2 principals on the grate. So like this. Draw the trumpet. I think it suddenly got a lot quieter than it should have been. Right, so we'll take the 15th off. That's a good sound. And then if we built up the full plenum of the grate, so up to mixture, we've got both stops out on the pedal, and then we coupled, well, let's just hear how that sounds. If I were then to couple the 8-foot trumpet from the swell down to the pedal, it really does come through and it really adds to that chorus. So really good playing them. And then I suppose we haven't heard the full organ, the tutti. So here we have it. For good measure, let's just pull everything out. Because everything does add something to every other stop. You know, no stop is useless on its own. It really does add, even if it doesn't add to the full chorus. But here is the full chorus, everything out and the swell box open. So that's not bad really for a church of this size and an organ of this size. A very good sound indeed. So a lot of fun can be had with this organ. You can very easily interpret and play an awful lot of different styles and eras of organ repertoire. Delight to play. So thank you to everybody that allowed me to access this instrument and to record on it. So thank you to the organist, church wardens, etc., the parishioners of this church. The church is also lucky to have really a thriving choir, full choir that sings very regularly. So yes, a really lucky church to have such a brilliant organ, and a choir, and a brilliant organist, who isn't me, by the way. Brilliant organist. I'm not the organist. I'm not brilliant as well. So thank you for watching, and there'll be a couple of pieces that will come out with this as well. I'm just going to quickly give you a little improvisation, starting quiet, going loud, just so you can get another glimpse of the scope of this instrument. So once again, thank you very much. See you at the end.